Okay, today we got a 2001 Yukon XL. We are installing an amplifier that has the factory OEM radios, factory stereo right here, an OEM. We are gonna install the high-low converter, which is a line-out converter, the same word. First, I'm gonna run the power wire through this rubber. You see the rubber boot behind the parking brake right here. Right behind there, you can take like a flathead coat hanger and push the rubber boot, and then you can pull the 4-gauge wire right here, 4-gauge or 8-gauge. I wouldn't do an odd gauge wire through this. I would run it down if you're gonna do an odd gauge wire, because it's too thick, especially when you're moving down here. Down here you cannot really put any thing bigger than a 4-gauge. You can only hold up the 4-gauge like this to be able to, when you put the plastic right here, you can see this plastic. If you put an odd gauge, it's too thick, it won't go in there right. So you can only do 8-gauge and 4-gauge back here, and I'm gonna show you the front. Okay, if you looked at it, you see the rubber boot right here, and we're gonna push the the coat hanger down in here, right here where my hands at. It's kind of hard to see. You push it down through, and then you can pull it, tape it and pull it. I'm gonna show you because some people might ask me how you're gonna do it. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna strip this wire right here about 3 inches, about right here. Here's the strip wire that I stripped the rubber out. And then what I'm gonna do, since I stripped this, I'm gonna use this little tiny one and push it through the hole. You can make it bigger, but it's up to you. Push it backward like that, and then put this rest of this wire back here and start to tape that about an inch past this wire and tape it. Then all you have to do is push it back to the booth. Okay, as you can see, once you pull the wire, the wire's gonna be right here. You don't want to stay right here because you don't want the wire to be around this metal piece. It might hit it and damage the wire, and it's got a short. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put it under this metal right here, pull it back that way, and then put the wire about right around here, because this is a power right here. Usually when I'm taking the power wire off the battery, this part right here, see it's got the metal right here, you got to be careful, because if you're gonna try to take it out with a plier or with any tool, you're gonna have to be careful not hitting this metal, because it will spark. So I usually take the negative side off first, then I can do whatever right here. We'll show you later on that. Now I'm gonna go back to the high-low converter. This is my line-out converter. So what I got right here, I'm gonna put this together, the white and black, and then the gray and black together, because we are using only one channel. We don't have to go to the other side and do the other wire. You don't have to do that, because high-low converter, it's just a subwoofer control. You don't have to do all that. So the white and gray is positive, white black and gray black is negative. So what he's gonna do, he's gonna hook it up to the wire right here. It's not twisted. Usually they are twisted. So we got the brown wire, we're gonna hook it up to the positive side, and then we got the yellow wire, we're gonna hook up to the white black and gray black, which is the negative. Once he got that done, he's gonna take the RCA jack and put it. Doesn't matter what side it is, it's just left and right thing, so he can plug it whichever side he want. Now you're gonna shove that in there, and that's basically it. Now he's gonna run all the wire back underneath this seat right here. I'm gonna show you. We're gonna have to take all this thing out. So what's he gonna do? He's gonna pull that, and then here you go. We're gonna put the amp right here. It's easier than run everything to the back. And you know, the short the wire, the better. You got the ground. I'm gonna show you where he put the ground at. So here's the ground. You sand it really good to the bare metal right here, and then you put 2 screws. You don't want to put 1 screw, because 1 screw it will move when the vibration of the speakers, it will move, or it just move by itself after a while. So you want to put 2, that way it won't move anywhere. And then run the RCA jack, the power wire right here. Now he's gonna hook up the amp normally. Now right here I'm gonna show you how to test the fuse for your remote turn on. Drop my lights. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna test. Basically I'm gonna put one right here, okay? See, no lights. Lights not on. So I'm gonna turn the key on to accessory. See that it come on. It should come on. Right here. See, it's on. So I know that I'm gonna use that wire. Actually I can use one right here too. I remember. Right there. See, it's light coming on. Turn it off. It's off. I turn the damn radio off. Right there. First click, second click. So I'm gonna I'm not gonna use that. I'm gonna use this one's easy to put on right there. So what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna take the fuse out. Use a needle nose. Pull it out. Okay, now I gotta get that light back here. Once you pull it out, you're gonna take that test light and put it to one side. Okay? Put one side. You can see right here, it's harder using one hand and hold the light. Okay, now I'm gonna turn the key on. See how this is on like that? You don't want to use that one side on the, if you look in from the door side, the right side, you don't want to use that because it's power all the time. That means if something happens, it's not going to pop the fuse. It's going to burn up the wire or something like that if there's a short. So you want to put your wire on this side, your remote wire, because that's where the fuse is at. See, there's no power. It's not on. So next step is to put the remote wire on that left side. Okay, right here I'm gonna strip about an inch. Right here, strip about an inch right here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take half of these out. So here I cut half of it and then I wrap it like that. Oh shoot, it's dropped. Now I got it like that, looking like that. So the reason why I don't want to put it up here, because it's hard to put the fuse backs, as you can see right here. So I'm gonna put it back. Push it in like that and make sure this wire is in there, and this wire is not touching any other stuff, any other fuses, and you're good for the remote wire. What's he doing? He's cutting about a foot and a half or a foot of the power wire on one side. This is where it's gonna go to the battery. It's gonna lose the the fuse holder. Remember, you gotta have a fuse up front. So if you don't put a fuse, if you come to my shop, I'm not going to install anything. I'm not going to touch anything because the customer doesn't have a fuse. That's a fire hazard. You know, the fuse, what it does, it's protected from burning up some wire or anything related to a short. So he's going to shove that in, strip it about 1/2 inch. And some people strip it a different way. If they have like a knife, you can do that too, but we have tools, so we're using that. So now on a 4-gauge wire, you're gonna have to lose that one middle piece in there. Let me show you real close right there. You're gonna have to lose that out because a lot of people, they're gonna try to shove the 4-gauge in there. You don't want that. You don't need that because this is a 4-gauge and an 8-gauge fuse holder. You know, when you buy the power kit, like a 4-gauge kit, you don't have to, I mean, they are different. The fuse holder is a little bit different, but anyway, we're using an A&L mini fuse holder right here. See, when you do about 1/2 inch or less, the wire goes straight up here. I'm gonna show you. See, there's no wire sticking out. And a lot of people, they have the wire sticking out. That's not safe. Okay. So he's gonna grab an 80 amp fuse, which is an A&L mini fuse. Loosen that one side. Hook that right in where the hook is at. The reason he's using that other side first because you don't wanna, I will show you in a second. See, you can push it right through like that. But if you use the other opposite way, it's kind of hard. You got to pull it all the way out. You don't want to pull it all the way out. You want to basically push it and stick it out a little bit, maybe a 1/2 inch sticking out right there. See, then you can use the opposite side and loosen the screw. Well, you have to use an Allen wrench. Like I said earlier, that every wiring kit is a little bit different, but at most, if you use an A&L fuse holder, this is what it look like. Most people use an AGU for that, but I don't like to use the AGU. I like this better because you can go up higher on the amperage. So tighten that one side up, and then we'll go to the car. Now he's gonna use a 5/16 inch to lose the ground side of the battery. And as I mentioned earlier, you don't want do the power side, the positive side, and touch the metal and arcing, and probably burn some other stuff inside the car. So you don't want to do that. You want to do the proper way, which is loosen the ground first, and then now you can literally touch the ground. You'll be okay. Touch the metal. And that is 5/16, right?
Yep.
Now for most people, they usually strip this, pretend this is a red wire. They usually strip this part out with a knife or something like that, and then they stuck like a fork or a spade right in this part. If you don't want to use this short post battery adapter, battery post adapter, you need a shorter one. What we're gonna do, we're gonna use it this way. It's easier. Now he's gonna try to pull that out. Usually I use a plier or something and twist it on one side and pull it right out, or just spinning it a little bit and push it. What he's doing, he's pushing one of his finger right here on the side and twist it on the angle a little bit so it will come out. There you go. Now once it come out, taking that adapter out. I'm gonna just push it right in. It made it perfectly like that. And then now just need a wrench. Now what you're gonna need a 3/4 inch combination wrench, and you need a 9/16 right here. 9/16 for the smaller one, and then 3/4 for the bigger one. So he's gonna try to get his hand on there first. You don't want to put the wrench in there yet. You want to try to get in maybe a turn or so it won't strip the battery. So gonna use his hand and try to twist that in there. Once it's tight, a little bit tight, you can use the wrench. Now he's putting some pressure on it so you can make sure it's going in there right. And then as the first one's tight, the 9/16 gonna be needed. So he's gonna use that 5/16 and put this ring terminal right here and go right in, tighten it, and then put the fuse back right here. And then just use a zip tie and hold this together right there, and that's it. Okay, I know most of you guys asking me how I'm gonna finish that, but basically the ground right here gonna go to the ground. As you can see right here, it will say ground in the middle is ground, and then you got the red, which is the blue wire, and then it's red right there for 12 volt from the battery, go to the positive side, and then the remote. And then after that you're gonna have speakers, positive, negative, negative, positive right there for the speaker wire. You can see that right there. And then you put an RCA jack right here to the input of the amplifier, and making sure any amp that you have, make sure it's on LP. It means low pass. On this specific amplifier, this Pioneer, you're gonna have to turn it to on right there. And then the bass boost, whatever you want, and the gain you can adjust.